Hi, I'm Len Rydell, the Executive Director of the Blue and Gray Education Society. I'd like to welcome you to the final presentation of our February 1995 Vicksburg campaign series. We had the really exceptional good fortune of putting together a program with the cooperation of the Mississippi Department of Archives and History and the manager of the Old Capitol Museum and Bookstore, where we did most of our lectures sitting in the same seats that were occupied by Mississippi legislators back during the tumultuous period of the Civil War. It was really an awe-inspiring scenario and venue to present in, and Mississippi allowed us to do a lot of things, present and have meals and do other things there, and it was a wonderful opportunity for us. And so to thank them, we looked at the assets we had, and while our program was a pay for play program that people had to register for, what we wanted to do to thank the state was to present a program that was open to the public, that they could advertise to all the supporters of Mississippi Archives and History and various historical societies. And we did so, and it was extremely well received. And we had attendance, as I recollect, it's 26 years ago now, but as I recollect, we had well over 100 people in attendance for an evening program. That program was to recognize and recreate for the people of Mississippi their favorite son, Jefferson Davis's farewell address to the people of Mississippi. It's a remarkable talk. It went no more than about 8 or 9 minutes. Davis had been through so much, and his time was over. It was time to move on and on to bigger and better things. And he felt before he moved on that he owed it to the representatives of Mississippi to say farewell. And so we found the text of his farewell address, and we took our most Southern accented person with honey dripping off his tongues, as I've said before, Kent Masterson Brown, and put him in a formal suit and tie, and then got another man with a huge Southern accent, a local lieutenant colonel from the Mississippi National Guard, who many of you may know today as retired Brigadier General Parker Hills, who I was just getting to know at the time. And I had Hills play the part of the Speaker of the House, of the Mississippi House, introducing and thanking Davis. And then I had Kent Brown delivering verbatim, both incidentally delivered verbatim, the remarks that were rendered in that very spot, in that very chamber, more than 130 years earlier. It was combined with a reception and a attaboy and thank you that everybody enjoyed. And then we called it a night and wrapped up. But I wanted to share that with you. I hope you'll enjoy it. It is historically accurate and important representation. Please join me in welcoming and standing for the late President of the Confederacy, Jefferson Davis, as presented by Kent Masterson Brown. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Away from the political scene, I have in my secluded home observed with intense interest all passing events affecting the interest and honor of Mississippi, and have rejoiced to see in the diversification of labor and the development of new sources of prosperity and increased facilities of public education reason to hope for a future to our state more prosperous than any preceding era. Safety and honor of the Republic, we all must know, must rest upon the morality, intelligence, and patriotism of the community. We are now in a transition state. anticipated is not possible to forecast. But our people have shown such fortitude and have risen so grandly from the deep depression inflicted upon them that it is fair to entertain bright hope for the future. Sectional hate, concentrating itself upon my devoted head, deprives me of the privileges accorded to others in the sweeping expression of without distinction of race, color, or previous condition. But it cannot deprive me of that which is nearest and dearest to my heart, the right to be a Mississippian, and it is with great gratification that I receive this emphatic. Reared on the soil of Mississippi, the ambition of my boyhood was to do something which would redound to the honor and welfare of the state. The weight of many years admonishes me that my day for actual service has passed, yet the desire remains undiminished to see the people of Mississippi prosperous and happy, and her fame not unlike the past, but gradually growing wider and brighter as years roll away. It has been said that I should apply to the United States for a pardon. But repentance must precede the right of pardon, and I have not repented. Remembering as I must all which has been suffered, all which has been lost, disappointed hopes and crushed aspirations, yet I deliberately say, if it were to do over again, I would do again just as I did in 1861. No one is the arbiter of his own fate. The people of the Confederate States did more in proportion to their numbers and means than was ever achieved by any in the world's history. Fate decreed that they should be unsuccessful in the effort to maintain their claim to resume the grants made to the federal government. Our people have accepted the decree. It therefore behooves them, as they may, to promote the general welfare of the Union, to show to the world that hereafter as heretofore, the patriotism of our people is not measured by the lines of latitude and longitude, but it is as broad as the obligations they have assumed and embraces the whole of our ocean-bound domain. Let them leave to their children and children's children the grand example of never swerving from the path of duty, and preferring to return good for evil rather than to cherish the unmanly feeling of revenge. But never question or teach your children to desecrate the memory of the dead by admitting that their brothers were wrong in the effort to maintain the sovereignty, freedom, and independence which was their inalienable birthright, remembering that the coming generations are the children of the heroic mothers whose devotion to our cause in its darkest hour sustained the strong and strengthened the weak. I cannot believe that the cause for which our sacrifices were made can ever be lost, but rather hope that those who now deny the justice of our asserted claims will learn from the experience that the fathers builded wisely, and the Constitution to be constructed according to the commentaries of the men who made it. It having been previously understood that I would not attempt to do more than return my thanks, which are far deeper than it would be possible for me to express, I will now, senators and representatives, and to you, ladies and gentlemen, who have honored me by your attendance, you an affectionate and it may be a last